What's up guys, thanks for tuning in on today's car review. I'm your host Gabe, and today we're going to have an in-depth look at this 2022 Camaro LT1. We're going to talk about its performance, exterior and interior characteristics, and then we're going to take it out for a drive with the intentions of finding out if this Camaro LT1 is worth your time and potentially your money. I gotta tell you, being able to get my hands on a 6th generation Camaro and finally being able to review one is such a fulfilling experience. Since 1967, this has been a major player and an iconic player in the American muscle car scene. It's kind of bittersweet knowing that this is the last generation of the Camaro, and it brings me a lot of joy to be able to present to you the entry-level V8 experience. And that's gonna run you about $37,000, which competes side by side with the Mustang GT base. $37,000 seems like a lot, and for some people it is. But for a rear-wheel drive American muscle car, that actually raises a lot of eyebrows, especially when a 3LT V6 with a 3.6 liter runs about a $37,000 range. The V6 is not necessarily something to disregard, but it'll never be as enjoyable nor as fast as the LT1 V8 in these cars. Now, if we look under the hood, this is where we're gonna find reason number one, and pretty much the only reason why you buy the Camaro LT1. It's going to be the LT1 cast aluminum 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. The LT1 engine has a very unique feature, which is a direct high pressure injection system that allows this car to make 455 crank horsepower and about 455 pound-feet of torque. Now, this naturally aspirated V8 engine produces one of the most unique V8 sounds in muscle car today, and actually it is hyperbolized by the dual mode MPP exhaust system that's spec'd out, which is about $1,000, which, by the way, it is an absolute must. But don't take it from me, take it from the car itself. As you guys can see, it is a huge difference from the deep, throaty LSX, the LS3. This one just has kind of like a crispy, sporty, refined V8 growl. Very distinguishable from the other competitors like the Scat Pack and of course the Mustang GT. Now, delivering that power from the LT1 engine is either a 6-speed Tremec manual transmission, which is what this car has, or a lightning fast 10-speed automatic. The LT1 is not only characterized by having an incredible sounding V8 engine, but it's also characterized for having a very unique body style. This is, of course, the same body style that you would get on the 1LT or the 1LS. Now, this rapid blue color is just phenomenal. I mean, I have it underneath the shade, and you guys can already tell just how piercingly blue this car is. Contrasting with that blue is going to be this satin black grille that is housing these very unique LED running lights, and I think these are actually very cool looking lights. I do like how the grille has that jagged, kind of like sharp look. It has that same angular, kind of like arrow shape that the 5th generation has, which is really cool that they bring back that characteristic. But you also have like these air ducts, air vents. Looks very cool and is also very functional. Up top, we do have the SS hood, this very nice, bulgy, unique to the Camaro and to pretty much muscle cars as a whole. I do wish that the heat extractor was a little bit larger. I think aesthetically and for styling, it would look so much better, and also for functionality as well. Now, as we make our way towards the side, we're going to see the LT1 badge, which unfortunately is not really shown that much up front. You know, you still have that iconic, very sleek and low roof line that is the Achilles heel and pretty much a meme for the Camaro owners, that we have zero visibility. I do like how you get like these 5-spoke slotted wheels here. This is like one of 10 different options that you have to spec out. Another great feature about the LT1 is going to be these massive Brembo brakes that you get with the car. I mean, it makes sense considering that you have a massive V8 under the hood. So as we make our way toward the rear of the car, I absolutely love these lights. It is like a tribute to the older 5th generation lights where it had separate housings, even though these are one piece. You get a glimpse of the quad tip exhaust setup that this car has with that MPP dual mode exhaust. I love the diffuser as well. Very, very nice. I would actually like if it had maybe a little bit of fins here. Something that you should immediately change when you buy this car: the tires. These are 245 40/20s. That is a recipe for losing control and just never having traction. But you are going to get 245s up front and 245s in the back. Overall, this is a very good looking car, especially with a color like this. So for the interior of the 6th generation LT1 Camaro, first of all, I want to show you guys the key here, and as you guys can see, it's very simplistic, very consistent with the other Chevrolet models. I just wish that they had a little bit more of a Camaro identity or something more unique. Let's go ahead and get a start up here. There is some hard black plastic, I mean, very typical from American sports cars, but I absolutely love how it has like these silver finished pieces that has the ambient lighting here, that again is something that the 5th generation Camaro did not have in the abundance that the 6th gen has. I mean, there's all the way over here. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. I absolutely love too how this car has like these dual tone white on black color interior. I mean, it's something that is just incredible. These seats, however, do not come with this like dual tone color. This is actually a seat cover, which I have an entirely different video on, so you guys can check that out. I highly recommend that as one of the mods that you do, because these come with cloth originally, and they're very comfortable. They hold you very nicely in place. And again, just like the 5th generation Camaro seats, they're very good for cruising and just hanging out. What's really impressive about this interior happens to be just the overall styling. I mean, I love the steering wheel in itself. It has an amazing feeling. I love the leather wrap stitching. I also love how it has the iconic Camaro badge here, just like it has on the pre-refresh 5th generation Camaros, the 2010 and 2011s. I also love how it has the paddle shifters here, the silver finished pieces here. All the buttons is not as overwhelming as it is with the Mustangs. The Mustangs just has so many features, and the way that it's presented, it's just not very flush, and I love how it just all fits in here very nicely. Behind the steering wheel, you have the speedometer and the tachometer. Also incredibly stylish and very sport oriented. I love that, which that design definitely tailors more to a modern sports car. It's a little bit different from the 5th generation. The 5th generation had a more of a retro car type of look. And of course, if we look towards the right, we have that incredibly stylish 8-inch screen that's part of the tech package. I believe that there's a 7-inch screen default, but the tech package comes with a bigger screen. You also get Bose speakers, which we're not really going to try today, but guys, it's Bose. You can't go wrong with those. And right beneath it, you have the different buttons here. So obviously, if you did not want to use a touchscreen, you also have a different set of buttons here for the AC controls, and you can obviously adjust the intensity and of course a temperature with these silver finished dials that is just so addicting to play with. Right behind it, you have that piece of the dual tone white stitching. In between is the shifter, and I absolutely love how this shifter feels. This is a short throw shifter, which is about 30% less throw than the 5th generation stock OEM shifters. It feels very nicely, and it's very stylish as well. And of course, the silver finish pieces here where you can select the different driver modes. Obviously, the best one is going to be competitive sport mode, and of course, you can take off traction control or initiate the ESC off. Now, when it comes to the infotainment system, you guys obviously can adjust the different ambient lighting, which during the day you can't really appreciate as much as night, but at night just looks absolutely incredible. We have things like Apple CarPlay. There's so many different features that just puts this car eons ahead of the 5th generation Camaro. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the back seats, which are basically non-existent. Not really much to talk about there. I mean, it is a Camaro, so priority is not going to be in the back seats. In comparison to the Mustang GT base that I reviewed, even if you get the premium with the different screen and the leather seats, the interior styling on the LT1 is just so much better. And of course, having this screen with this many functions, it's just so much better than that calculator dashboard screen here that you have on the Mustang GT base. All right guys, so we talked a little bit about the performance, exterior and interior characteristics of the Camaro LT1. Now let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. And what better way to start that off with a little bit of launch control action? Are we going to be able to hit that advertised 4-second flat? I don't think so, especially with those 245 all seasons, but let's go ahead and try it anyway. ESC off by hitting this twice. Put the car in first, hit the accelerator and let it rip. So I guess we'll do our first pull of the day. Oh my God, does this thing rip? Jesus, man, that is quick. I gotta try that launch control just one more time. Now, of course, with this 6-speed Tremec manual transmission, you also do get auto rev matching, which we'll try it on right now. You also get no lift shifting as well. That is crazy. Okay, so give me a second here to get composed. So, initial impressions of the launch control and acceleration. It is diabolical. The cabin, if you guys haven't already picked up on it, it is just such a perfect amount of feedback. I mean, let's try to get some exhaust clips with the windows down here. Woo! It's literally like a whip, man, I'm telling you. Wow, does this thing move? Mustang GT where you really have to rev it up high to get like that feeling of torque. I mean, it's just right there. Yeah, it's so good, man. Here's something that I want to make a comment on the actual shifter. It does feel so much shorter than my stock 5th generation one. I think it's about, yeah, 30% shorter, and I definitely can tell the difference. Yeah, man, it's just such a composed vehicle. Even with 245s, it is relatively tameable. Absurd how quick these new 6th generation Camaros are. I mean, it is just worlds of a difference. I think this LT1 engine could beat my full bolt-on Camaro SS, well, just headers and tune, and it just does it so easily. close quarter situations, but it's such a cheat code, man. But just having like those long stretches with some corners, I mean, it's very, very doable. I can't stop. I can't stop. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the situation with the cornering is, it's very, very distinguishable from the 1LE. Can't really tell about the SS without the 1LE package, but this one is totally on the underperforming side when it comes to the cornering. There's a little bit more body roll, I feel, than the 1LE. I mean, that is the track package. It's supposed to be made to feel a lot more planted and be more precise. This one just feels like it has a little bit of roll to it, and you know, the fact that the 245 is there, it's definitely not as reassuring. But overall, in terms of handling, it's pretty doable, and what you get out the box is very adequate. Okay guys, so now let's talk about the practicality and what you will probably doing the most of the time, which is just commuting. And right now I am in obviously the sport mode, as we saw earlier, and I'm going through regular roads with some imperfections. And I'll tell you right now that this is one of the most comfortable sport modes I have ever experienced. The tour mode is the mode that you want to experience if you want to drive this car very conservatively, which you really can. One thing that I didn't comment about earlier is the visibility. For some odd reason, the visibility on the 6th generation Camaro, it feels a lot smaller. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's seating position, but ultimately it's still pretty okay. I mean, if your seating position's a little bit higher, visibility won't be that much of an issue. But daily driving experience and comfort, especially with the 6th generation Camaros, with the abundance of features that it has, it's very much doable, and it does it in a very great way. So this car, as a matter of fact, is a car that you can truly daily drive. It's insane how polar opposite you can drive this car. I mean, you could literally spend the entire time owning this car never really unlocking its true potential, and it's still very enjoyable. It's just very impressive that you can blend that level of performance with this level of comfort and ease. And it's really frustrating because now I want a 6th generation Camaro. I'm not gonna give up my 5th generation Camaro for just some easy comfort driving. So we talked a lot about how fast this car can climb up the speeds. Let's talk about how quick it is to come to a stop. All right, so now we're coming to a 60 halt. Very good brakes. Now let's try at, let's say, an 80 stop right here. I mean, these are pretty solid. I would think that with the current brake setup, which is 4 pistons up front with these Brembo brakes, and I think single pistons in the back, it brakes surprisingly well. And that's something that's really exciting to see, because I can't wait to try it with like an SS 1LE or a Camaro SS that actually has the 4 pistons up in the back as well. But you know, it's always been really important to have good brakes up front, considering that most of the weight is going to be coming from the front. The Camaro LT1 during the city usually gets about 16 miles per gallon and about 24 on the highway. If you've been driving like we did on this review, you won't be seeing 16 at all. Well guys, there you have it. That is the full in-depth review of the 2022 Camaro LT1, the Camaro with a V8 performance and a V6 body. And although I appreciate the look and the consistency within the models of the Mustang GT's exterior far more than the LT1, I find that the LT1's interior styling and features to be far more impressive than the Mustang GT base and of course the Premium. But the real selling point of the Camaro LT1 is seen in the explosive power produced by the LT1, along with features like launch control, no lift shifting, and the crispy exhaust note that's hyperbolized by the upgraded performance exhaust truly makes for an exhilarating driving experience. It's really astonishing how you can go from a ballistic, adrenaline-fueled driving experience with an explosive acceleration and tight cornering to a modest, conservative, nonchalant daily driving experience in such a seamless way. If you found this video informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. Helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Guys, if you enjoy my content overall, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future reviews. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.